screens are turned on one by one in the monitoring room of Sector 24. It is the job of an operator to keep watch of the many quantic cameras sparsed about the tank of subjects. But a job well done requires a well-trained employee. Welcome to your training tape and introductory guide to the sights of Soggy Springs. With this tape, you'll know which anomalies to look for and how many sections this pocket dimension is usually composed of. We first start from the very top of this peculiar land, the peaks, a collection of rocky spires and walls of clouds. The data collected from this specific camera indicates that all of Soggy Springs' water is generated within the clouds of this region. The monitoring team has tried flying a drone through the vapors, but the guardian of the peaks always managed to know where the drone was located and how to stop it before it could reach the first strata. All in all, the peaks are characterized by a strong green hue and a very loud echo accompanying every word uttered. Here's a snippet of a sound recording of we were able to capture.
Would you punch me? Would you punch me?
We then follow the stream of water to find ourselves in the most impressive and extensive part of Soggy Springs, the pond. Almost all of our data comes from this region, as it's the most utilized by subjects. The prevalently blue scenery made of lily pads, babbling brooks, and semi-aquatic vegetation is also characterized by the presence of ink-black cat-like tadpole creatures known as sogchamps. These mischievous little critters are detectable both in daylight and nighttime, and they appear to be actively messing around with our camera feeds, changing hues and saturation of the monitoring site. This phenomenon has been referred as, jokingly by some of our operators, the curse. Water from the pond gets redirected towards 3 different areas. The first area we're going to focus on is the Junjle. This jungle-like place presents tall bamboos and long vines covering its perimeter. A flowering throne is also erected right in the middle of the clearing. The meaning of the throne is unknown, but the golden hue that encompasses this area makes us believe it must have some kind of ritualistic value. Operators have observed various forest critters of unknown origin sitting on the throne, but the rhymes or reasons are still yet to be discovered. Another area the waters from the pond flows to is the Hotsprings. Coldest and warmest place of Soggy Springs, the Hotsprings are a desolate area covered in crystals and ice with occasional pools of scalding water dotting the surface of the frozen lake. Shifting hues of pink and green pass through the semi-transparent crystal, sparkling barriers of that otherwise empty land. We had managed to obtain a sample of one of these crystals, albeit we had been forbidden from extracting it from the pocket dimension. Energy readings conducted on said sample detected an unusual amount of activity within those crystals, especially the greener ones. Proper testing could not be conducted as the fragment chiseled was then promptly stolen by rats. Finally, we arrive at our point of interest, the Flux. This peculiar region of Soggy Springs presents a null void with dust-like red particles scattered like stars in a black still nothingness. All is encompassed by red electrical cables which morph into green scales the farther away they are from this well. Very little is known about the Flux, except that it is the reason we are able to peer into this pocket dimension, as it's the only entrance and exit our camera drones can pass through. Our scientists have theorized that the Flux is none other than a passageway between dimensions, not limited to ours and Soggy Springs. A satisfactory answer remains uncertain, and more tests have already been scheduled to be conducted from here to the next 20 years. So, to summarize, the peak's peculiarities are a greenish hue, a very loud echo, and the presence of the guardian. The pond peculiarities are a blue hue, lily pad and semi-aquatic vegetation, and the presence of sogchamps. The jungle peculiarities are a golden hue, a jungle of bamboo, and the presence of the blooming throne. The Hotsprings' peculiarities are a pink hue, strange crystals, and the presence of pools of scalding water. The Flux peculiarities are a red hue, many cables, and the presence of a passageway. If any of these elements in any of the cameras were to change or disappear suddenly, please contact a member of Team 13 from a prompt response and don't look at me. Please. Let me out.